cholera. I don't know if that's
The
giving
gorilla,
me
yeah.
energy, but when I started doing that, I really felt a difference after I started with that. So
Wow.
Yes, I'm so happy to hear that.
oh,
Yes,
thank you,
that
thank you, thank you.
spirulina and chlorella is that's straight nourishment. So good for
Yeah,
you. Come through with the
yeah. Well, I
energy. She
noticed a
said, I'm
big
going, I'm
difference.
walking.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Nice. That's
Hmm.
great. What about you, Leah? How are you coming along?
So I'm coming along pretty good. I started to say just before my internet dropped that I was like the second or third day in, like I felt like exhausted, like really, really tired.
Mm.
But
Mm.
after that, I just kept doing everything that you said to do. And I've been
Mm-hmm.
having so much energy. It's like Kathy was just saying, I got more energy. I went for a walk today too. We had a 59-degree day here. That's like woohoo, right? So
I know. That's
I
right.
went I went and walked in the park. It felt so good. And normally there's a hill that I can't get up, right? Because I'm too tired.
Mm-hmm.
I had to stop 2 or 3 times. I just took my
Right.
time and I just strolled up that hill today. I was like, oh my goodness, this is
That's doing
working.
it.
Yeah, you see.
Yeah. Now
Yes.
I've been feeling good. I just got my hot water bottle like it came yesterday. It was shipped to me yesterday. So I haven't had a chance to do an enema. But I'll do one of those
Okay.
this week at some point. But as far as the food is going and drinking the teas, that's been going well. And I can certainly feel a difference because I'm not hungry half the time.
Yeah, I'm not
That
either.
is
And
so,
you know,
so
but I think
great.
mine is too, coming from the ginger, because ginger kind of cuts my appetite as well. But since
Hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
incorporating everything else according to the menu that you have, I have not been hungry. I've been eating only when I feel like rather when I need to eat. But
Hmm.
around 4 or 5 o'clock is when I eat my meal. So I make myself eat that. So it's been working pretty good. And
Mm-hmm.
honey, let me tell you, the lentils, because I'm not a split pea person. Do you know I had
Uh-huh.
a couple people had come over just to visit, you know, that in the neighborhood that we all do okay with as far as masks and whatnot. So they came in and said,
Mm-hmm.
"What are you fixing? You always fix such good food." I said, "Oh, that's some lentils." And I just told them about the diet. Do you know I had to fix more? They ate all my lentils. It was
Come
so good.
through.
It was so
Yes.
good.
I'm
Yeah.
so happy to hear that. Look
Yeah.
at you healing community while you're healing yourself. That is
Exactly.
amazing.
Exactly.
That's
Wow.
And I've
awesome.
Yes.
incorporated them into everything. So they were on that 3 block walk with me today too. So they said, "We're gonna
Wow.
get you good, Kathy.
Yes.
We're gonna do this." I said, "Come on, girl, let's go." So we all did a walk today.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
wonderful.
that is
Oh,
incredible.
And the
That's
weather is so
incredible.
nice
And
today
I'm
too. Not so sunny and
happy.
breezy. I am. I said I had to make sure you knew about that today.
Ashe, Ashe. That
Hmm.
is so amazing.
I tell you.
Well, it is officially 7:45, so we'll go ahead and officially start. And
Okay.
I'll start by saying, hi out there, everyone. I am Shayola Benta, aka Shayola the Artisan, founder of Holistic Aleye Nourishment for Mind, Body, Spirit, and Currencies. And we are at recording 6, but this is like day 8, I believe, for our 21 day Veg Camp. Now, what we have been doing in the past, and we'll, I'm sure, get back on that schedule, is prepping the night before for what we need the next day. However, we've gone through Wheatgrass Wednesday because we last week because we started on a Wednesday. So I
Mhm.
just would like to veggie back a little bit and just go over Turnip Tuesday. Welcome in, Sananda. Welcome in. So I just want to make sure that everyone is clear about how to make their flush as it relates to your water, your kyolic, your lime or lemon, your oil, a little cayenne on there if you like. Here again, that's our first intake that helps flushes us out. It helps to reset the palate so that it welcomes all that you will consume for the rest of the day. The next item on the list is our soursop tea. Now, I don't know if everyone can find soursop, but For those of us who live in areas where there's like an international market or like a, not a bodega, but like a Hispanic store or Indian, Asian type of store, they'll sell the soursop leaves, right? So you can do, I would say 4 or 5 leaves to a cup of water, 8 to 12 ounces, whatever you decide. And again, with that, we're just boiling the water, and then we're going to put our leaves in there and allow the leaves to steep. Now, soursop is great for cell regeneration. So for those of us who may have, let's say, some challenges or any challenges with things like cancer, soursop is going to be a good aid for you, So here again, soursop is our 7:30 a.m. intake.
Okay, Sheila, I wasn't able to find the leaves at the Mexican store that I go to, but they did have the pulp. Is the pulp okay?
Yes.
Okay, because they had the frozen pulp, so I had that. Okay.
We're gonna work with what we can get our hands on, because
All
even
right,
still,
good.
I went to the store today and I'm like, I can't find what I need. But you're all good as long as you can get the soursop. Here again, we don't want to boil unless it's a root, and just let it rock for overnight. Okay. The next up on our list is our. I'm not going to juice this today. Just want to make sure that some of the things we have already gone through. So we go through it when necessary. Anywho, the turnip tonic is our next item. Now, turnips are great for rejuvenation as well. That's going to help with the inflammation. Turnips is, it's just really great for vitality, right? So whether you get it in leaf form or if you have the root, you would, if you're just doing, I would say for one day, how much you need for the whole day, I would say probably half is good, right? Then we're going to do a knob of ginger and half lime, right? So this is juiced. So that's your tonic, right? So then your liquid breakfast would be, you could use another half. No, you still use part of that turnip half, excuse me. You can use your turnips, your beets, your chard, your spirulina. What's wrong with me tonight? Your spirulina and your chlorella and your lime. We did this juice last week. Or did I actually juice it? But y'all know what it looked like, right? If it's ever a time you say, hey, Shay, can you run that recipe again? Definitely, or run it, period, definitely let me know. But I'm going through it because I feel like, we're several days in and we know the difference between juices and smoothies and how that works.
Shayola.
Yes?
Sorry to interrupt. For the beets, okay. I was looking over the recordings, looking for where you juiced, if you had already juiced the beets. I couldn't find which day it was, if you did it, because I know a couple of days. I know at least one day I came in a little late, but I couldn't find where you juiced the beets.
Okay, so I think I did it. It might have been in recording 1 or 2, but do you want to go over the juice? Because I can do this juice tonight.
I don't want you to.
Yeah.
Okay, you smiling real hard, so yes, please.
No, I've already I'm soaking them, so they're pre-prepped, except
Nikki,
for the beets. But we're gonna do.
So how is it?
Sheila and Nikki, that would help me too. So thank you for asking for that, because I don't know,
Okay.
I'm missing how to juice, like when you talk turnips. Well, how do you prepare that? do I cut it up? Do I put it in the mixer? I mean, do I boil
Okay.
it? I'm not sure. Thank you so
So
much.
let's do it now. You're welcome so much. Let me get the beets. One moment. Okay. So
And
what we're
and
gonna do.
that right there.
I'm listening.
I was hoping that, yeah. So I noticed when I bought it, the leaves right there. When I got the beets, I was like, okay. I said, I'm gonna ask Shayola if there's something that can be done with these leaves. But then I noticed that the leaves are actually charred.
Yeah, you can't get, so great question.
I was like, what?
You can. I would say I have not done it. Soak them obviously, because if you can see, let's say like this leaf has a ton of earth on it still,
Yeah,
right? But it's usable. So before I add it, you know what? Since we getting into some things, what I will do is I'll juice this too, but I have to clean them. So we know that part. If you use your leaves, you definitely have to clean them. All right, so give me one moment. Let's get started. All right, so of course I'm at the sink. I am filling my bowl with some filter water. And we have it like so, right? What I'm gonna do is just cut this down in the bowl, right? And then what I'm gonna do is take a lime and just give it a little squeeze, let it clean a little bit. Put this here. Now, as it relates to the beets, you could just you can do a few things. You can cut them to shave, or you can use a peeler to shave. Totally up to you. You don't have to shave it all if you're not going to use if you're not using the pulp for anything else. It's like, okay, well, what would I use the pulp for? It could be filler. If you're making a veggie patty of some sort, you can add the pulp, the beet pulp, to serve not only for flavor, but as a binder for the burger. It could be a broth. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it, obviously, because this is what I started to do.
Shayla, would I be doing the same thing with the turnip?
Yes, I'm gonna cut the turnip too. I'm just gonna run this whole juice so that you can see how it looks. Oh, I have to get the ginger too, but we got it. And I noticed that the beets normally come in threes. I don't know if that's the same for where you all live, but it's certainly
Mine actually
enough.
came in fours.
Yeah, they're usually a little more than 3.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was shocked. I was like, wait a minute, she said 3. I got 4. Oh, shucks.
You got you an extra one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so, and beets are great. This is great root, your root chakra maintenance, so to speak. And the root is important because everything comes from the root. So, and it's also great for the blood, right? So let me just clean this mess up here. Let me come back. I gotta remember to be back here so you can see. Now, I'm not gonna be making any patties anytime soon. Well, that I shouldn't say that, but it won't be tomorrow. That I know. All right, rinsing hands. Okay, so with your turnip now, right? Same difference. We're just going to cut half. I'm gonna use half for the juice. You can use the other half for the rest of the day, if you know what I mean. I'm just gonna cut off this little, the root. Okay, so we're just chunking it up. Here again, if you have the bunch, that's fine too. You can run that. Then we have our shard here, but I'm not gonna pull, let me get organized. What I'm gonna do, I need to clean off my cutting board. I low-key have a form of OCD, drives me nuts. One moment. Two. So when you're cleaning your veggies, if you don't have like a veggie mist spray, you can always use your ACV, your lime, your lemon, maybe even a little salt. So there's always something in the kitchen that you can use, and it's multi-purpose, right? You know what? I always do this. Bring this over. All right.
Sheila, if you don't have a juicer, can you use like a Vitamix or?
You can use the Vitamix. You will have to add water, you know, something to give it the liquid to be able to mix. Okay. It'll be a different texture, but it could be done. Okay. So I have that other half of the lime. I know y'all, I probably shouldn't have did this. See, this is me moving too fast. Hold on, I have 2 more ingredients that I want to show real quick. So again, when we're cutting the lime, super easy. It's already in its half, so we're just shaving down. It's okay if you leave some of the rind on there. Nutrients are there. Right? And then I'm going to cut off the knob here. If you decide that you want to keep all of your rind on, that's fine. Of course, there are tons of nutrients in the rind. It's a little too twangy for me, so I don't necessarily do it. With the ginger, this is a little bit more than a lime, but a thumb, but I love, love, love ginger. So I have like so. We have our lime, and now I'm going to get the juicer, and we're just going to begin to juice everything. Hi, General, how you doing? You said what now, Nikki?
So we don't have to peel or skin the ginger.
You don't have to. Here again, the only time I skin it is when I know I'm going to be using the ingredients for something else. And if you, let's say, well, what would I use the ginger for? That could be a tea. You could just take the pulp and steep it in water. It could be flavoring for any of your other dishes that you'll be making in the future. It could just be used for so many things. I just know that I'm not using it. So I'm not going to worry with it today. I'll return it to Mother Earth, or you could just compost it for those of us who are have gardens inside, outside. However, the earth loves when you return it earth food. So that's great. All right. So we are good to go with all of our ingredients. So we know that we're going to be cutting up the beets. Well, you might have to slice it depending, or cut it in half depending on how big your juicer is. We're going to do the same for the turnip. And then we have our lime. and then we have the ginger. Shard is behind me. All right. So let me ask, when I have this going, is it disturbing? Do you rather I put it on mute, the phone?
Doesn't bother
Do you
me.
care? Okay, so here we go. Okay. So we have our juice. Let me unplug. Un momento, por favor.
Sheila, did you say you could use the pulp in making burgers or thickening up soup or whatever?
All of that. Now, I would use, let's say, all of it, the way that we have it, to thicken up a soup. I don't know that I would use the ginger in a burger. That might be a little strong for me. So everything less the ginger can still be filler for your burger. Yes.
Including the lime?
Yeah, depending on, you know, what kind. Let's say you were doing a black bean burger. You could do the lime in that. You don't have to. You don't really have to do any of them, but you can if you want a little zest, or you could juice the lime separately. You can use the pulp to make a dressing, or, you know, something to the sort. And I know I'm speaking as though you know how to do this, but you'll know how to do it. That's why I'm here. Okay, so now we have our juice, right? I'm going to pour it with all of the fluff, right? So remember, when you juice, it will separate. If it's sitting, that's okay. We are just going to either stir it, or I would say round it in. We don't want to shake it or anything to that nature. And then you know, refrigerate if you so choose, if you're not drinking it right away. Does anybody have any questions?
Yes. So that juice right there, that's done with, you add some of that to water, or you drink that straight?
You could drink it straight. You could drink it as a concentrate, but if you feel like, okay, I want to add water to it, that's fine too. You could add coconut water to it. Yeah.
So we're allowed to use something like coconut water during the during this detox?
Oh, coconut water, yes, absolutely. No coconut juice though. So some of it, you know, it'll look like the water bottles or what have you, but it's coconut juice. You don't want to do the juice because that has a sweetener in it that we're really
Yeah.
not checking for, right?
Right.
Okay. So
I
I'm
want to be
listening.
100. I want to be 100% transparent. I'm just this Wednesday will be when I'll be starting because I
Okay.
needed to I had to mentally get myself prepared after my surgery.
Okay.
But I have been, as you can see, I get on each class and I watch and I see what you do and I write down anything and stuff like that. So I'm going to start this Wednesday, but I'm starting from day one, the same way you did. And I'm
Okay.
going to follow y'all and I'm just going to end a week after y'all. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So this Wednesday, I'll be doing what y'all did last Wednesday. And
okay.
but I am super psyched about it, and I can't wait. I can't wait.
I can't wait for you to start too. People, look, we losing weight around these hair parts. We got more energy. You know, we out here feeling full and not hungry. It's beautiful things happening out here in the world.
I've been listening. That's why I've been staying on. That's why I've been coming, because I wanted to be a part of it. Yeah, I wanted to be a part of everything that was going on, even though I wasn't actually doing it yet. So I could hear the different things and see what's happening with everyone and be supportive with everyone and just be here. So thank you. Thank you.
So
we thank you for all that you do.
I would like to add to that, Shayla, because I think I'm going to be a day behind my sister, Nikki Knox, because what's been happening for me is it's been hard to pull away from the regular way I was eating. I think I sent you a couple of questions about what I could incorporate in while on the detox. And I'll ask you those questions later, but then I did the first days with the split pea, and I didn't put it in the right order. So those split peas were just real crunchy. So I felt like I did it wrong. And, and I made too much. So I've been eating that for the last 3 days.
But you can freeze it so that you can save it, but you don't have to constantly eat the same thing, just so you don't waste it, right?
Yeah, well, I didn't waste it but I didn't feel I did it right, because JoJo was telling me how delicious hers were and how nice and soft. And I'm chewing on these split peas because they were just crunchy, but I wasn't going to throw it away. And because I had to keep warming it up, I probably depleted everything out of the greens that were in there. So really, Nikki, I'm sort of starting again with you and just getting my head wrapped around all of this stuff. So I always do the morning routine. I love the flush. Good. And I don't have burdock yet. I should have it today or tomorrow from Amazon. And I can incorporate that. I did use the dandelion leaves, but I just put them in hot water, and I didn't boil them. I put them in hot water and let it sit overnight. And then I drank that. So
how was that for you?
That was great. I mean, it's not something I consider delicious, but it wasn't offensive either, And I really
at least it wasn't offensive.
Right. I really want to clean out this body. I know my blood needs to be cleaned. And because I've had an outbreak in my skin that has been pretty severe. So I just know detox is necessary. So
it is. And I really want you to pay close attention to your skin as you begin the detox, right? Because what can happen is when the body is purging, it's like a fight to try to get out. Everybody is trying to run from the cleaning that's coming, so to speak, right? So it may cause the skin to erupt. Everything is going to come to the surface. If that should happen, just keep me in the know and discontinue all fruit juices until those symptoms have subsided.
Okay.
If it should happen.
Well, it hasn't.
Okay.
My skin has erupted, and it has been erupting for the last 6 months. And it's changing the quality, but I firmly believe, just like a snake, we can shed the skin every, what, 6 to 8 weeks and get new layer of cells. Right. So I haven't seen it get any worse from what I'm doing with the detox. And my intention is that it will improve. I started doing a little exercise and walking. So this has been really very, very helpful for me on many levels.
Give thanks. I'm happy to hear that. Keep on walking. Keep on walking.
Right.
Does anyone else have any, and thank you for sharing. Does anyone else have any, since we're all being transparent in this moment, does anyone else have anything that they would like to share? How are you coming along? What you would like to improve in? Anybody? Okay. All right. So I'm going to put this to the side. I was just beginning the not next phase, but the next phase.
And we're just keeping on to week 2, right? For Wheatgrass Wednesday.
Hi, Tracy. Yes, we are on week 2. However, instead of prepping for Wednesday, we are prepping Tuesday's menu because we haven't done that yet because we started last week on a Wednesday. So what we've gone over so far, okay? What we've gone over so far is the, of course, the flush, just making sure everybody is good with that. The soursop, we did the turnip juice. I think that's when you came in. And then what we're going to move to now is our tropical cereal. Now, unfortunately enough, I visit a few markets depending on the mood, and the Kroger that I went to didn't have any millet. But what I do have is amaranth. Now, they aren't quite the same. Amaranth is really, really small, smaller than quinoa, teeny grains, and you can make it sweet or you can make it savory. So in this case, we would have been doing it as a sweet, or we are doing it as a sweet for a cereal. We would follow the same instructions as we would with the millet. The difference with the millet is that it's like a reddish color. The grains are a little bigger, and of course, it's just a different taste. Now, I will say that it is an acquired taste, but the grains are great for grounding and fortification, right? So whether it's quinoa, whether it's the amaranth, whether it's millet, even couscous, which I would like to show you tonight. But the cereal really is the same way that you would do an oatmeal. So we have about, I would say, a smooth 40 minutes left. Does anyone need me to go over how to do the cereal?
Yes, I do.
Today I did the Tuesday thing, and then I couldn't find the millet either, so I just did everything with the quinoa. Is it okay if I just follow Wednesday for tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to get a pot.
Is there a different menu for week 2?
You should have received week 2 and 3 as one document.
Okay, I'll look for that.
If you have not, as it relates to Veg Camp, I've been telling people to call me, right? Which I haven't been as available to the phone because I've been traveling. But if you called me or texted me and I haven't gotten back to you, just text me again or email me, and I'll make sure that I follow up. But just please give me some grace because your sister is running, child. I'm running.
Okay.
But if you don't have it, we'll make sure that you get it. So also make sure that you check your spam, because for some reason I know that some of the emails were going to spam.
Okay.
All right, so let me get a smaller pot because I don't desire to make a whole bunch. One moment.
So is still cut oats another thing that can be used for the cereal?
You said, is there something else that can be used?
It can still cut oats be
Yes.
used.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. You can use your steel cut oats. The only suggestion, y'all, tonight is to soak them so that you don't have to cook them as long. If that makes sense. And it helps to loosen them up so they're not so steel cut-ish.
That helps a whole lot because I have them, but I've never used them. I just happen to. I don't even know how I wind up with them. Yeah, I've had them for a while. Sometimes things show up and I don't know how they get here.
Well,
I'm
we give thanks
serious.
and praises for the abundance, honey.
So yeah, so soaking it. Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, I would definitely suggest soaking it because steel cut is so much different than the regular one, even the old-fashioned oats. It's just such a difference. All right, so what I'm doing is just putting a little water in my vintage pot. And I did about 2.5 cups. Well, this is about 2 cups. Yes? Someone had a question?
Yeah, Shayla, I had a question. You would mention week 2 and 3, but aren't we using the same recipes over for week 2 and 3, or is it supposed to be a second page?
Well, weeks 2 and 3 are variations of week 1. So a lot of it is the same. Let's say tonight on the menu, it says lentils, but I decided, I don't know if I want lentils tonight. So instead I have black beans, right? Okay. And we can switch up that way because the technique is the same, right? So whether it's you got it, right? So
we just use the same recipes and we just switch that same recipe around, or do we actually supposed to have a sheet that says week 2 and week 3? Because I only have that week 1.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. You only have week 1. Okay, let me make note of that. No, let me not do that. Y'all, please text me.
Okay.
804-803-4099. Send me week 2 and 3. Because week 2 and 3 is one document with all of the information. And here again, it's variations of week 1, so slight differences. But if you decide on your own that you want to change up a thing, you don't want lentils, you want red beans or what have you, that works. My only suggestion is to make sure that you're keeping the pattern so that the body has enough time to detoxify and nourish, detoxify and nourish, detoxify and nourish. That's what we're looking to do. So we should be eliminating, side note, because I know you didn't ask for all of this, but I'm sharing it in this moment. But we should be eliminating really after each meal. And if we find that we're not eliminating after each meal, then you might have to do your colon treatment. That's your castor oil and your lemon to help break it up so that you can, eliminate.
I've been having a hard time finding castor oil that you can consume. Do you have any suggestions?
Tracy?
Yes, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It is a Hispanic store on Broad Rock and Walmsley, blue and white. I think it's called Rancon or RANCON, I think is the spelling. But if you are coming up Broad Rock from the city, it's going to be on the right-hand side. If you're coming from Chesterfield, it's going to be on the left-hand side. And they usually have it behind the counter. Okay. And I think you can actually even get it the way that it's set up, but they have little bottles. And I think the castor may have a pink label on it or pinkish color.
One more time, say the name of the store, please.
I believe it's spelled RANCON. And if
Okay.
that doesn't come up, just do Hispanic grocery on Broad Rock, and it'll bring up a picture. If you see a picture of a blue and white
Blue and
building,
white.
you know that's
Okay,
it.
cool. Thank you.
Mhm. You're
Sheila,
welcome.
Carola, this is JoJo, and I can't figure out, what day are you doing? Are you doing week
Okay,
one Tuesday?
great question. I am doing Tuesday because we did not do Tuesday yet, and we didn't have class yesterday. So rather than running
That's in
Wednesday,
week
which
one,
we've
right?
already done. No,
That's in week one, because see,
mhm.
my week one, what I got was it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but then there's nothing else. I don't have the Sunday,
you
Monday,
should've-
and Tuesday.
So can y'all do me a favor and check your spam, because I sent the menu
No,
for
I
2
mean-
and 3. What were you saying, General?
Well, I have checked all that.
Okay.
And it's, I just don't have, in the sheet that I got, then Sunanda mailed me one so that I could use hers,
Mhm.
but it's just Sunday, Monday. I mean, it's just Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
That's week 1 then.
It doesn't,
Okay, so what I'm going to do is resend to the whole group tonight when I send out this recording, week 2 and 3 again. Okay, but I
okay,
sent
will
it
you
out
send
last.
me week one then too?
I can resend week. You need week
Because-
1 also?
Yeah, because I just have the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I don't have the Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of week one.
So week 1 doesn't have a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Week 1 started with Wednesday, it went on to Saturday. Then week 2 starts from Sunday, and that's gonna go till Saturday. Week 3,
Okay, thank you.
right, because it's 21 days, but we started in the middle of the week. We didn't start on a Sunday or on a Saturday, if
Right.
that makes sense.
Right.
And today we're doing
Okay, then
Tuesday because we didn't have class yesterday.
Okay. I think I got it. So I have the information.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'm still gonna
And you
resend
were
to the
talking
group.
about,
Mhm.
but you were talking about making a burger, and I didn't ever see a recipe or anything for a burger. I got excited.
Oh, not yet. We
I
can't
was
have the
looking
burgers
for it.
just yet. Not just yet.
Oh.
Burgers are post detox. I was just mentioning that there are things that you can do with the pulp and making burgers
yeah, I
is
got
one
that.
of those things, right?
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So, someone else was going to say something.
I was trying to ask a question with the steel cut oats. When you say soak it, does that always mean soak overnight, whether it's beans or steel cut oats or what?
I will always say at least 2 hours or overnight. So at
Okay.
minimum, 2 hours, the max overnight.
That would be for the steel cut oats also.
I would so yeah. And even
Okay.
an hour. I would say, because sometimes I know it's not going to always work out that way. You want to give it a good, I would say at the minimum, a good hour. At the minimum. At the minimum,
So it's
an hour.
it's easier to just put it in there for overnight.
You could do it. See, I guess what I think of is how different people may move, self-included. Because I may have time one day for, an overnight, but I may have forgotten the thing. So I may not be able to soak it overnight, but I know I need to do something. So I try to at least make it 2 hours. But if I can't, an hour, but you do want to loosen it up so you don't have to put too much heat, to it.
Okay.
Speaking of which, I'm going to now turn down this fire to a medium high heat, right? And this is the same concept that we used when we made the quinoa, right? So we have our boiled water. We're now going to add a cup or so of the amaranth. And you can measure it out if you like. Now, amaranth has a very distinctive taste, but you have the, how do you say, the freedom to season it any way you like. So I'm just gonna let that do what it does for a moment. All right, so we're at 27. I'm gonna strive to multitask so that I can get everything that we need to see in this recording, right? So while the cereal is boiling, and you would just notice that it looks a little like quinoa, just, you know, a smaller version of. How do you know when it's ready? Oh, you can actually see it. Can y'all see that? Because I can
Yes.
see it.
That's boiling. That's boiling, isn't it?
Right. It is. It is. So this wouldn't necessarily be considered raw because we are boiling it. And I could have very well soaked these too. I just didn't. But it's all good. Okay. So in a separate pot, I'm going to boil water for our next order of business. So stepping off the camera. And of course, does anybody have any questions? Am I moving too fast?
No.
You can say, okay. I'm gonna say, let me know. So the other grain that we work with tonight is couscous. And couscous is so super easy to make. You'll probably eat the couscous before you eat anything else because it's so easy to make. All right, let me turn this down a bit. Turn this on. I'm gonna cover this to help with the process. Oh, did anyone have an opportunity to try the Buddha bowl? The one that we made last week?
Delicious.
You did? Who did it?
Yes, I did it. It was good.
Yay!
Very
I'm
good.
excited. Did it take you long to make?
No, well, I tried to cook a little slow, but no, it didn't take very long. It's just so
Awesome.
much. It's just so much food though, but it's really good.
So
Yeah.
what I think the next time we do this, it'll be like an option. You can do just the liquids, or you can mix it up with the liquids and the solids as it relates to breakfast, you know, lunch and dinner. And even if the portions, like when it's all said and done, and you're like, wow, I have so much. Remember, most of the things that we create can be frozen. So let's say, you know, okay, well, a 16-ounce bag of lentils is going to probably make about 8 bowls of soup. So maybe you only do 8 ounces, depending on if you just want 4 bowls. Or if you went ahead and did the whole thing, just know that you put it in a mason jar and freeze it, or you can put it in a BHA-free freezer bag, and it'll have the same effect.
Let me ask you, Shilo, you said we can freeze it in the mason jar also? You can stick the mason jar in the freezer?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
As long as the soup is not hot, yeah. The soup have to be, you know, room temperature. Yeah, as long as it's not hot and you put it in there, yeah, you're good to go.
Wow.
Good to go. So now the other part to this that I'm not going to do is cutting up your pineapple, right? And this is fairly easy to do, and there are many ways that you can cut your pineapple. I normally just slice mine and just cut down on the ends and then cut it in 4s, if that makes sense. The papaya is the same way. Now, hopefully you can find papaya. It's not totally in season right now, so I understand if you can't get it, but if you can, great. even if you get it, even if you get it in a juice form, so the papaya, you can juice it or you can make it into a smoothie. If you wanted to really be healthy about it, you can go ahead and throw the seeds in there too. There are tremendous nutrients in the seeds. Of course, it's going to be chunky, but up to you. So you would do the same with the papaya. You would cut it. I would lay it flat because they're usually, oblong. Lay it flat. I would, if you know you're not going to need the whole thing, because it will produce a lot, especially if you're making a smoothie, cut it in half. Once you cut it in half, you'll see the seeds, which are black for those of us who have not had papaya. You can, here again, chop it the same way we did with the pineapple. You can scoop the seeds out if you don't want it, or you could just chop it all up and throw it into the blender with a little water and blend. Or you could put it in the juicer. Juice it. You can, I wouldn't put the seeds in the juicer. It'd probably make a mess and a lot of noise, and you probably won't get that much out of it anyway. But with the juicer, you just juice the papaya straight on through. Papaya juice is great for cleaning out the intestinal tract. And it's that fruit that you don't need anything else with. You just drink straight papaya juice or the papaya pulp, and you are good to go. So
the international market on Midlothian has them, and they already have them. They took the skin or the peel. I don't know what it is called, the outside of it.
Nice. I did that once, right? Oh, I should move this over here. I did that once and did not. I said I will never buy it pre-cut again. Okay. This still needs a little time, not quite done. But I wanted to
pomegranate's okay to make part of the fruit bowl that we do?
Absolutely. Pomegranates are so filled with antioxidants. And it's kind of a therapy to really get to it. So yeah, you can pomegranate it down. So once the millet, it will take a little bit longer to steep, right? So you can add a pinch of salt. You can put the papaya chunks in there if you want. You can add the pineapple. You can put it on the side. It doesn't have to be a part of the cereal. What could be just in the cereal itself is the I don't even know if I put that on there, cinnamon and nutmeg. But you can put cinnamon and nutmeg in it. For me, I like to eat my fruits separate from my cereal. Weirdo like that. So I would add a sweetener or flavor to my millet, couscous, or whatever grain it is. Your fruits. If you're adding your fruits to your cereal, then you really don't have to do a whole lot of sweetener or what have you. And again, you could use your date cream. So this is still going to take a little moment to continue, but I would like to move on to the next thing. How do you finish this up? Once the millet has bonded, right? Because right now it still needs more time. And even actually, if I let it just steep, it will thicken up. You add your seasonings. If you have a nut milk, you can put a nut milk in there if you want. No rice milk, no soy milk or anything to that nature. You can add a little coconut oil for flavor. Cereal is done. Okay, so I'm going to put this over here.
Carol, I have a question about cereal.
Yes.
I have, Red Mills. This is a hot cereal, 8 grain.
Okay.
I don't know if I can use it or not because it's got, it's wheat free, but it's oats and oat bran. It's millet and sorghum and sunflower seeds and flaxseed.
Oh, that's perfect. That's a nice combination. You can do that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Very, very nice. Okay. Does anyone have any questions before we move on?
I have a question, an old question. You know the dates that we use for the dressing? Can we eat the dates alone?
Of course. And that's going to be, it'll almost serve like a
Dessert.
as an laxative. What it's not dates, it's not figs, prunes. It'll be in that family. But yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So as it relates to the liquid lunch, that's the smoothie. Here again, we went over that. If you want a little extra sweet, you can add your date cream to that. Now, when we hold on. When we
everybody's mad at me because of the sponsor. I didn't know it was from Shelby Construction Company.
Okay, so as it relates to our solid lunch item, it is a Buddha bowl like we did last week, but here again tonight I am changing the lentils for us in the household to black peas, black beans. You can use whatever you like. The technique is the same. That's the most important part, right? So what are we talking about? I am going to do a quick little something, right? So I've already started with our red pepper. Then we're gonna take our cilantro and our parsley. And cilantro and parsley here again go hand in hand. They didn't have any curly parsley, so I got Italian parsley, which are just flatter leaves. I don't know if you can see that. It's all good. And this is going to be a base for, you know, for the whole bowl, really. So I'm just going to rinse these off. And I'm going to do a loose chop, stem and all, right? Because we remember that the nutrients are in the stem as well. So we do a loose chop. Okay. And then what else do I have on here? Garlic and onion. I'm gonna rep my green onion today, or scallions. Okay, so we're gonna give a chop on that. And normally, y'all know I love my red onions, but I said I got to get on the call. I came in from Atlanta this afternoon. I just knew that I had enough time to do everything. But my body said, how about some sleep? Let's do that. Oh, Nikki, you know what I didn't do? Dang. Just don't forget, y'all. You can run your chard with the rest of your juice. So I'll go back and run mine afterwards to add to what I already have. Y'all remember that part where we were going to add the leaves to the beets?
So what was the green leaf that you did run through?
That was just a plain chard that I bought separately. So it's like a double dose of chard. And just make sure that you clean it really well. Yeah.
Okay. When I seen you folding it, I was like, man, that chard got really clean really quick. So yeah, that's why I ain't saying nothing.
Nice and glossy. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I want to show you really quickly the couscous because it's so much fun. So what we would do is we take a bowl like so. We would take the couscous. Maybe. Right, we're gonna pour the couscous in the bowl. Now, up to you. I would say a cup will do you. A cup is plenty, really. Then we're going to add our seasoning. So I have a little onion powder. You can use whatever you like. What's on the menu is fine. Your curry, your cumin and things of that nature, all great. I do have some cumin that I'm going to add, or cumin. I'm going to add a little color, some dry parsley. And you may already have these things in your closet, though they may not have been on the list. If you want to add the fresh to it, you can, no problem. I'm adding a little seasoning. Then what I'm going to do is mix it up. Right? And then I'm going to pour the hot water over it. Just about a ½ inch above. I don't know if y'all can see that. Hopefully you can. And then I'm just going to cover it and leave it to the side. All right. So what's next? Oh, let me think about it. The rest of our bowl. So what we're going to do, y'all, this cutting board takes such a beating. It's amazing. You could do one of two things. You can put all the ingredients in the bowl together, in the pan together, being your beans or your legumes, your black beans, or you could do it separate. You can season them differently. So let's say if you decide to do it separately, which I may do, with the black beans, I'm going to, let's say, add lime to give it a zesty taste. And then with the mushrooms, I'll add more of the, I don't know, the curry to give that a different taste. Of course, we add our greens, we have our grain and our avocado, and that's a complete, bowl. But we're just gonna go through it as quickly as we can. We have about 16 minutes left on the clock. And for those of us who are in Wealth Builders, we know why we have to be prompt. For those who aren't here with us yet, hopefully you'll come in with us soon. Okay. I'm going to use Olive today. Olive said, "You have been neglecting me for hemp." So I'm sharing the love today. Now we do have,
Are you using the dry black beans, or could we use like a can, the canned black beans?
You can use what you have access to. Of course, I'm going to always err on the side of fresh. But if time may not be on your side or whatever the case may be, then, use what you have.
Okay, thank you.
But for the journey, I would prefer fresh, and maybe for everyday cooking, intermittently doing some can. If that helps, you can grow them too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that helps.
You can grow black beans. You can grow them all, really. Black eyed
Wow.
peas.
Wow.
So
how do you grill them? Do you grill them in oil, like olive oil or grapeseed oil, or?
You said grill them?
Yeah. How do you do
How do you grow them?
Yes.
Oh, you just seeds. You would grow them like you would any other crop. You just need the seed, and they begin to come up on a little vine, just as cute as they want to be.
Just make sure they soak overnight and then grill them.
Yeah, I would soak them, because when you soak them, that will help them to open and loosen, right? And that reduces your heat time. I'm just cutting up a little garlic, because we know that garlic is our antibacterial. right? It's our anti-inflammatory. It complements our fire element, right? Breaking away at mucus and inflammation. So we want to take in garlic as often as, we want to do it pretty regularly. All right, so we're on a medium heat here. I may have to combine it for the sake of time, but either way, still a good look. So we're gonna coat the bottom of the pan with a little oil. Then we're going to take our garlic, some of our green onion. Give it a little whirl. We're going to take our, whether it's lentil, whatever legume or bean you choose, we're going to add it to our pan. Just a little something, right? From this point, we add our seasoning. So again, I go hard with cumin. I love the taste and the properties. I'm gonna put a little bit of my cilantro seasoning in here. Now again, the mushrooms can be a separate thing, right? They can be raw. You don't have to do anything to them at all. But I'm gonna go ahead and add some healthy bacteria. And then I'm gonna add the rest of my accoutrement.
Shayola, are you using portobello mushrooms there?
Yes.
Okay.
I could have probably used a bigger pan too. All right, so you can add a smidge of water if you feel like you want a little broth. You don't have to add water. You can
That looks like it's going to be amazing.
Okay, then come through amazing. I love it. Clearly. It's like a torture sometimes because I just love food. I love it. All right, so you can, here again, oh, you know what I like to add? I know this isn't on the menu, on the paper printout, but we could put a little cocoa amino in it for a little taste, right? All right.
I put cocoa aminos in everything.
I know you do, Miss JoJo. It's delicious. It's just delicious and nutritious. But remember now, if you have a half a bottle by the end of this, you didn't use too much cocoa amino. So we don't want to use too much because remember, it still does have a sodium count in there that we're striving to reduce. This is just, I'm gonna treat myself a little something today, but we don't want to overdo it, right? All right. So this is in part of our bowl. So we have our protein, we have our anti-inflammatory, we have our healthy bacteria, we have our fire element cutting away at mucus, we have vitamin C. So we're doing pretty all right here, okay? Then what I want to show you is your couscous.
Shayola?
Yes?
What is the red pepper providing?
Vitamin C.
Oh, and then could I use Great Northern beans in place of the black beans? Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. So here's your couscous, right? So it's going to be grainy. So you just, but it's nice and done. Nothing else needs to be done to it. So when we are making the bowl, we have a few minutes. We're getting there. Okay. You could do something like, you can always add greens, whether it's kale or whatever. Not whatever. You can do mixed greens, you can do kale, whatever is good to your palate. If you would like to add it to your Buddha bowl, you can.
Spinach.
Right? So, yes. I will never say no to a dark leafy green. Okay, so you have your couscous. And then you have your extra. Now here again, you can do it separately or you can mix it all together. The only other thing that's missing is our avocado. Right, we're gonna cut this in half the easier way, or easy way. I'm gonna say it's the easiest. Here, come all the way around with it. Right, twist off. And then we're gonna peel it back.
Don't just scoop it out.
I'm kind of glad I got an opportunity to see how much food each one of these recipes make, because I already see I'm gonna have to cut everything in half, or I'll have an enormous amount of food left over because I don't eat a lot. And like that bowl right there, everything in it would have to be half for me.
Okay. And that's totally understandable. And it's kind of late, so we shouldn't be eating, you know. But definitely if you feel this could be lunch and dinner, right? And then
it really would be good.
We could add a little
So the only greens
even
you
the
really had
lime
in
here
there,
again, this is you said what's
the
that?
only greens you really had in there, Shayola, were the green onions and the parsley and the cilantro, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right, so you can do that with it. Now here again, you could always add, I like to buy you know, a tub of the mixed greens. We mixed greens it up today. And this should really be the reverse, but here we are. So then I'm gonna top it with a little parsley. And there you go. Now,
delicious.
if you, give thanks and praises. Again, this is something that's really meant for your 12 to 3 p.m. meal. Why? Because it's the heaviest, right? That's when the sun is at its peak. That's when you're at your peak. After 3 p.m., you have some time to break down the food, allow it to metabolize. You could repeat this whole thing for dinner, less the couscous, add more green, if that makes sense. Does it make sense?
Yes.
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 Okay, so I think we made it in the nick of time. We went over just about everything on the menu. I hope that the replay, hey y'all on the replay, is enough information for you to feel confident to make everything that you need to make. The only thing that I know that I was rushing through was the cereal. Let me go back and check it real quick. Well, she did, she tightened up a little bit, right? So from here, hold on. You see that consistency?
Yes.
Right? So now you would add everything else. Here again, that's your date cream or your fruits. It's your cinnamon, it's your nutmeg. If you have clove, You can put clove in it. If you have vanilla essence, not imitation, but the actual extract, you can put that in here too, with a little coconut oil, and you're good to go. But that's the consistency that you're looking for, that of an oatmeal almost.
Mhm.
All right.
Wow,
Okay, I'm proud of us with 3 minutes to spare.
awesome.
So, yay!
Yay.
Now,
Thank you.
here again, at any time, if you feel like this is too much food, or I don't need as much, or I can make one bowl and know that I have lunch and dinner already prepared,
Mhm.
right? Or I can go ahead and fix lunch, and then in a separate bowl or what have you, do what I need to do for dinner. All you got to do is grab and go. So the papaya, if you do the papaya as a smoothie, it's going to be filling. So you probably won't need a whole bunch. You probably won't even for real need a solid, definitely not this much, a solid lunch, because once you get that papaya in you, it's going to fill you. As a smoothie, the papaya juice is not going to stick as much. You may not feel as full, but you will for sure feel full if you make it into a smoothie. And either way is just as delicious. Okay.
I sent you a text asking for week 2 and 3.
Perfect.
I will be sending the text to Shayla.
Okay, I'm going to send it to everyone. Again, I'm going to add it to this recording so that you all have it. If someone in the community is saying, hey, I didn't get this, or hey, this, just, text her or email her so that I can get on it. But tomorrow will be a nice day for me to catch up from the weekend, because I really haven't done much since Saturday, I think it was.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
You.
Oh, thank
We
you so
appreciate
much, Mama Sananda. All right, family. So we're gonna keep it green. We're gonna keep it green, right? Flush it out.
Right. Yeah.
And keep it moving. This is the goal. This is us all summer long. This is what we're doing. Okay? So
Awesome.
I will see y'all tomorrow face to face on the huddle. I will feel you on the live stream. I love y'all so much for striving. And I'll see you tomorrow.
No class tomorrow, right?
No. Oh, tomorrow's Wednesday. No class tomorrow for us. But of course, I'll see you in our regular scheduled events.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Awesome.
Thank you so
Friday.
much.
Have a great
Thank
night.
you. This is
Thank
great.
Bye-bye.
I love you all. I love you all.
Thank you.
Love and hugs.
A lot of hugs.